Hi witches! Thank you so much for joining me today. I am back and hopefully back at a more regular schedule starting today. If you guys have not seen my last video, I've spent a lot of time kind of like building up a metaphysical store. So if you guys want to see the vlog of that, feel free to check that out. It is literally the video before this and I will try to link it down below. But for today, I thought it would be good to, talk about the upcoming full moon in Virgo. I'm so excited. As you guys know, last year I really enjoyed chatting about all of the moons, and this year I kind of wanted to standardize and update all of those videos and go a little bit more in depth. I also am going to be using this to fill out my own grimoire, which I'm really excited now. I actually have time to work on it, yay. And today we're going to be discussing the full worm moon or the full storm moon in Virgo, which is occurring tomorrow, Tuesday, March 7th. This one definitely snuck up on me, and being a Virgo myself, I'm like a little bit mad about that. Now I am a little bit late, like I said, but I do hope that this video serves you nonetheless. And without further ado, let's start first by breaking down the name of this moon, right? So today we are discussing the full worm moon or the full storm moon in Virgo, right? And it's called this because now, the full worm moon is kind of the most common name that I'm seeing on the internet, and it is called this because in southern parts of the United States started to see worms approaching the surface of the soil, so those warmer parts. And I got that information from literally NASA, so that's kind of cool that they're talking about the full worm moon. I love that. Now, other names for this moon in colder climates include the storm moon, which is what I have always called it, the sap moon, the plow moon, the wind moon, and even the crow moon, which I really like. And being a devotee of the Morrigan, definitely considering calling this moon from now on. Now, this full moon falls in the sign of Virgo, which is a mutable earth sign that is ruled by the planet of Mercury. Now, Mercury is all about communication. We often hear like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde again. That's why my computer's all messed up. But that's why. It's because that planet is all about communication. And it really asks us to bring the dreams that we dreamed up during the new moon in Pisces. If you guys haven't seen that video, I did a whole little correspondence chart about the new moon in Pisces. When we were dreaming big during that period of time, this full moon asks us to kind of take those dreams and bring them into reality by making concrete plans to move forward. So this moon also falls within the same month of Ostara, which is a holiday of rebirth, newness, hope, joy, and celebration of the spring equinox. And these two are some of the intentions of this moon. Not so much the spring equinox, but you can totally celebrate as well, though I recommend waiting till the new moon, but we'll talk about that in 2 weeks. So these are all intentions of this current moon, right? So rebirth, newness, hope, joy, as well as productivity, cleansing, and positive change. Now, oftentimes witches feel like they are more powerful during the full moon or just feel more in tune with the universe, whereas others might not. And I just want you to know that it is okay, and it's always okay to choose rest as a way to honor any sort of lunation if you so choose. Now, with this full moon, I do encourage you to focus on your goals for the spring. What areas of your life could benefit from some spiritual spring cleaning or physical spring cleaning? That's what I'm doing right now. Is there a new way that you can weave your practice into your life? And as the weather warms, what do you feel inspired to do? Virgo likes to remind us that it is time to roll up our sleeves and match our mundane action to our magical intention. I always like to say, I can light 1,000,000 green candles and ask for $1 million, but if I just sit in my room, it's probably not just gonna magically fall in my lap. Though, if you watch my spiritual awakening story, maybe. Anyways, now I'm sure that this is all well and good, but I know on this channel we love chatting about practical magic and the ceremony of it all. So let's kind of recap some of those correspondences. Now, Again, these spiritual intentions for the full storm moon or the full worm moon in Virgo include productivity, cleansing, positive change, rebirth, joy, hope, and just really kind of moving forward, shaking off those winter blues. I know I'm certainly ready for some warmer weather, and I'm sure you guys are too. Or perhaps, you know, if you're on the other side of the world, you are looking for some cooler weather. Now, colors are great for novice practitioners or practitioners who may not be able to practice openly, as well as for decorating our altar cloths and sacred spaces. So I really love color magic, and I really encourage you guys to use it in your daily life because it's just so easy. Now, when I go out into nature, I tend to look for inspiration for my altars, and a lot of the colors that I'm seeing right now include like light greens and yellows, as well as some of those purples and pinks. Like I've been seeing some daffodils popping up, and then some like little kind of early spring flowers. So I'm really, really excited about that. It's still pretty cold here though where I am, so not quite as vibrant as I'm sure it will be in the next couple weeks. Now, next, let's chat about some of the symbols that you can use to decorate your altar. Things such as the triple moon symbol or other lunar imagery is also always super great. Things such as grains or other symbols of abundance. Oftentimes Virgo is kind of associated with the maiden, so maybe some divine feminine symbolism, if that is something that you're interested in. You could also include your gardening tools. This is a great moon to bless some of your gardening tools if you didn't do that during Amok, or if you didn't want to do it during Ostara. As well as early spring animals. Again, we're thinking worms and birds. As well as storm clouds, rain, journals or schedules that you have, maybe a calendar for yourself, as well as the element of earth, whether that be soil or like crystals that you have, all sorts of good stuff. Now, for my wonderful spellcrafters, green witches, alchemists, etc., let's chat about some herbs and crystals. Now, in general, we want to select herbs that are associated with our spiritual correspondences, and then anything that, you know, of course, we are doing in terms of spell work. But moonstone, any sort of kind of like those clear or white stones, I always use for full moons, as well as maybe tiger's eye, aventurine for luck and prosperity. Jasper for like motivation and courage, carnelian, maybe even black tourmaline for protection as well as cleansing. Anything that's going to help us kind of get started or get our foot in the door when it comes to really getting our spring cleaning done or just getting ready for this warmer half of the year, right? Now, finally, let's talk about some practical magic and spell work. Now, I know I already mentioned maybe blessing your garden tools, but that is something that is super great to be doing. You may also want to start your seeds. There is some debate as to whether you should be starting your seeds on the full moon or the new moon, but I will leave that up to you. I personally don't know that it actually matters, but I am also not the greenest of witches, so shall we say. Though there is, I've done a lot of reading about it. It's actually really, really fascinating. I would absolutely recommend, as always, cleansing your space and maybe starting your spring cleaning. You guys will probably hear me saying this a lot about the full moons and the upcoming new moons and stuff, but that's really what I'm doing right now. The biggest thing I think that I would say that I'm doing personally for this full moon, I found this trend on TikTok, and I'm not sure it's like the healthiest, so please take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, but it's called the delusion trend, and I don't know, it's basically where you wake up every day and you kind of like live your best life, and just it's really all it is sticking to like a relatively strict schedule. So I'm considering doing that, like feeding into the delusion of Pisces season and also the like Virgo need to like organize my life and also my own desire to organize my life. So stay tuned for a little vlog series on that. But primarily, I really see this moon as a great time to start, planning, looking ahead, and maybe using it as kind of a marker, so we manifest what we want for the spring and then start in the waning period of this lunar cycle to identify and schedule out, really put those steps in place for us to be successful, right? So it's all a journey. You don't have to do it all in one night. And as always, if you have any questions, I'm always here. But I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.